this election that's coming up in the Sarnia Lambton riding is one, I would have to say, and I know it's cliche, but it is the most important one that I've seen. And it's got to do with silence. And what we've had is too many people have sat back and not stood up for the regular everyday people going to work. And we've seen how things have morphed into the fact that our voices don't get heard. And it's gotten to the point now where we have MPPs hiding. They don't answer the constituents. They lay back because they think they've got it in the bag because of habitual voting habits. In the fact that we pay attention to, well, we have to get this person in as premier. But I'm gonna talk about that right now. Nobody's listening at all in the big parties. It comes down to the back room. The MPPs are told to sit down and shut up. They don't get to speak for the needs or wants of anybody in their constituency unless it goes along the party line. And that's wrong, because there's different things in Sarnia Lambton that are needed, and it's a voice. And when you can't have an MPP step up and bring a voice to the table, you're in big trouble. The party is not the one who is dictating what happens in this riding. It has to be the people through their MPP. We've seen it federally as well. We get silence. They dictate what the MP can do. It's a problem, and it's in our system right now. Do we really need to have hundreds more bills passed? Like, people will say, oh, well, you know what? You don't have enough people running in that party. You just don't. How are you going to get anything done? Well, I got to tell you this. We're not getting it done right now because everybody is whipped into silence. So when your MPP can't stand up for you anyways, it's high time you select somebody who can. And that is Carla. And I'm going to tell you something. I sat down with Carla at Rag's restaurant, and we had a pretty good meeting. And I asked her to consider running for the PPO. And it's because of her groundwork. Like, we've got a person running in Sarnia Lambton this time that was up in Ottawa for 3 weeks in minus 35. I know it because I was on the street with her. And I'm telling you, that's the type of person I'd like to see. Somebody who puts it on the ground, is not scared to talk about the real issues. We're in the situation now where if we can't expose what's going on, it's perpetual, and we don't have a voice. So this stuff about split vote and all this garbage, we need to get back to the basics in this country, Canada federally and provincially, and let's pick the person who's going to represent you the best. Forget about the sign color. Forget about any of that. Look through, and I'm going to guarantee you that Carla Olson is the best candidate in this election coming up in the park in Sarnia Lambton. So that being said, Carla, thank you so much for taking it on. And I'm going to introduce you, ladies and gentlemen, Carla Olson.
Wow, look at all these beautiful Canadians. You are free. I am not a politician. I'm a Canadian who is sick and tired of being sick and tired. I am sick and tired of corruption in our government. I am tired of undemocratic politics. I'm tired of unethical public officials. I am tired of mandates, lockdowns, discrimination. I'm tired of people losing their jobs. I'm tired of having an MPP who refuses to respond to his people. I'm tired of living in fear of what the next thing the government is going to do to us. I'm tired of people being afraid to stand up because they feel like they're alone. You're not alone. Look around you. And there's more of you. There's more of us. And I will always stand with with every single one of you. So, I'm just going to tell you guys, back on November 1st, you've already heard this, I had no job because of Bob.
Yeah.
Bob Bailey could have stood up for me. He could have stood up for you, and you, and you, and you. Anyone who's here, has anyone else lost their job over these vaccine policies? He could have stood up for all of you.
Yeah.
Whether he agreed or not, he could have stood up. How many people out here spoke to Bob, sent an email, called him?
Unanswered.
Look around, guys. No answer. Did he answer you? Did he answer any one of you? No, because he doesn't. In July 2021, Doug Ford stood up, he spoke to all of you, and he said, I will not initiate a vaccine passport in Ontario because it will divide the country. He lied. Are we divided?
Yes.
But are we united right here?
Yeah.
That's right. In spite of him, we unite, we stand together. Doug Ford also said that he wasn't going to mandate the vaccine. Well, that's true. I guess he didn't mandate it, but he sure made it so that we were divided, and he took things away. He agreed with Justin Trudeau. In fact, he even created with Dr. Kieran Moore, Directive 6. They gave that to the employers. The employers went above and beyond. Who thinks they were paid out to go above and beyond? Follow the money.
Absolutely.
Always follow the money. So I lost my job because of Doug Ford, but I also lost my job because of Bob.
No job because of Bob.
It goes downhill. He voted and he agreed. He could have stood up for Sarnia Lambton. He could have stood up for this portion of Sarnia Lambton. He knew what it was going to do, but instead he sat silent. He didn't have to agree. That's why I'm so grateful to be running with the PPO. I don't have to agree with everything with the PPO. The PPO allows me to look into my own community, speak to all of you, find out what you need, and fully represent Sarnia Lambton. You know, when the mandates came down, first thing was the lockdown. And when the lockdowns came, you know, there was the business owner. She was a hairdresser. She owned a hair salon. She called Bob Bailey and she said, Bob, you deemed me not essential. But do you know, it's essential that I eat. It's essential that I pay my bills. It's essential that I have to pay for the sports and things for my daughter. It's essential that we get out of our house and we get fresh air and that we socialize. Do you think he called her back? Do you think he emailed her back? Do you think he heard it? No. Because then, when the mandates came, or the vaccine passport came in, the restaurant owner, they reached out to Bob Bailey and they said, Bob, my customers have become my friends. I love my business and I respect the community of Sarnia Lambton. Please don't make me discriminate against a portion of my customers. Do you think Bob Bailey responded? Do you think he heard him? No. Do you think his business is closed today? Yes.
Where is he? Where is Bob?
And where's Bob? You know, there's so many stories. There's a college student. She got kicked out of her program in the last semester. So she can't complete her program and she can't get a job. She called Bob. Do you think Bob helped her out? No. What about the person, the mother that called and she said, I can't deal with my child screaming and crying. My child has anxiety. I have a medical exemption to not put a mask on my child. Will you please call the school board? Will you reach out to them? They won't accept my medical exemption. Do you think Bob did that? No. This is Elliot. And I do this for Elliot. I do this for your kids, your grandkids, all these kids. Do we want them to grow up in a world full of bots that won't answer, that won't respond? What about now? The person, the 30-year-old healthcare worker that was coerced into having the vaccine. She has a heart condition now. She reached out to Bob because she wants it reported. Do you think Bob responded? No. Do you think it was the vaccine?
Yeah.
That's right. So, I mean, this is the thing. Bob has not stood up for anyone. It goes beyond that. Not only did he not stand up, he refuses to speak to his constituents. He won't answer them. I wonder if he reads the emails. I've been told that his staff is rude, that they won't even make the connection for him. I'm going to tell you right now, if you go on my website, carlaformpp.ca, my telephone number is front and center. Use it. I will return your call. I will listen to you. Because you matter. And do you want to know why? It's personal to me. Like many of you, I've lost relationships. I've lost my job, a career that I loved. You know, and I am not a politician at all. And I never want to be a politician. What I want to be is an advocate for the people. This is Lily. I do it for her. I do it for her. So, you know, with that said, elect me to Queen's Park and have me in Queen's Park. I am the person who will stand up. September's around the corner. They're already talking about the next variant. So what do you think's going to happen with the next variant? That comes the next wave of lockdowns. Keep Ontario open. He's going to be looking to public health. We know that they're unethical. We know that they're already pushing the fourth vaccine, you know. So they're going to lock us down. They're going to bring back the mandates. We aren't safe yet, but I'm going to be standing in Queen's Park and I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to fight for your jobs. I'm going to fight for your rights. I'm going to fight that the segregation and the division ends. We need to get unified in Canada.
Yes.
That's the only way. That's our way to freedom. So tell your friends that it's time that we stand up together. We need to unify. When I go to Queen's Park, I will vote against critical race theory. I will vote against digital identity. I will vote against mandates, lockdowns. I will fight for you. I will make sure that you are heard. I will be here. I'm relational. Truly, you know, first and foremost, I am a wife, I am a mother, and I'm a grandmother. I'm a lover of people. But another big thing is I am Canadian, and I am free, and I'm going to help to keep all of us free. And that's what else for you guys. I do want to tell you, thank you for coming. You'll notice that they talked about me being in Ottawa. Who here remembers how upset they were about the bouncy castle in Ottawa? So I tried to get a bouncy castle for this event, and you can't find anyone that can put them in a public space because of red tape. I think the red tape's a little bit much. I feel like sometimes I wonder, do you think it was because of Ottawa? We brought some symbolism. We found a bouncy castle. It's not big, but you get the symbol. It's about families. It's about unity. Anyway, so I want to encourage each and every one of you to stay, unified, to reach out, to speak to your friends. I want to thank you all for coming. I did panic a little about our speakers canceling, but you know what? At the end of the day, everyone that's here is here. And it's about get rid of Bob. Remember, I lost my job because of Bob. Anyway, thank you so much. So we do have a really special speaker coming up. I've been calling him by the wrong name to all of you. His name is not Nathan. This is Nicholas Alexander. He is running with the PPO in Toronto. And as you guys know, Toronto's a very liberal area. So he has a big challenge. So any of you, so give him lots of support, lots of love. If you have friends in Toronto, please tell them about Nicholas. I got your name right.
Hi everyone. My name is Nicholas Alexander. I am Dr. Paul Alexander's son. I'm a little bit nervous. Public speaking isn't usually my cup of tea. I just wanted to really quickly take a moment of your time to highlight a few things that my father would have wanted to say, and that is that the lockdowns and mandates should have never happened. The vaccine has failed. He would tell you all that a lot of the existing politicians should probably be in prison. And he would want you to turn your attention just to the emergency use authorizations to see that the government and the vaccine corporations have absolved themselves of any liability. And that alone should be reason enough to not take these vaccines. That's right. So you're all doing the right thing. I'm here to support Carla and the PPO. So please do show your support as well. Lastly, I'm from Toronto. I live in Toronto, and seeing the amount of patriotism out here in Sarnia really has me thinking about making a move. It's beautiful, and it looks very different than where I live.
We're all family here.
I feel like it. Yeah.
We support you.
So that's it from me. Jim?
And what's your dad's famous line? Say it loud.
Lock it up! And throw away the key! And take your money! So, lastly, I want to say one thing. We've got a fantastic candidate in Carla. Right now, all of you here, if you take every single person here, and you multiply each one by 1,000, and that's where your reach is going to be. All of you have the ability in the next couple of weeks to reach out to people around you. Reach out to your family, your friends, your neighbors, everybody. Get them on side with Carla. All of you here, if you just look around, look at all of yourselves right now, all of you make up a revolution. This is what a revolution is all about. And it starts like this. It starts with our first get-together, then our next get-together, and all the other get-togethers. And we're not going to stop. And I want to say something very, very important. PPO is not here as a single issue party, and it's not here to just be here for this election. The PPO is birthing right now. We are its children. That's what we are. We are the children of the PPO, and you will become the fighters, the freedom fighters, provincially. They're going to kick the tyranny and the garbage to the curb, and you're going to accept nothing less than the highest of integrity, like Carla, okay? That's what we got to go for. So I'm asking all of you to join together and make a commitment to help Carla to win in Sarnia Lambton, because you deserve the best.
One thing I forgot to say. Will you say it with me? Okay. Be kind. Be Canadian.